You see, this scold. Your eyes are showing that strangeness. The white sky couldn't stand it anymore and gritted its teeth. Guard the safe to reach the head of the Min City with a hot pot. Translation: stop talking. At the same time, their noise. He also made the people inside hear and opened the door. An old man with sharp eyes. He watched the disciples paint furiously. AI Air took us trouble in front of the Four Seas Trade Association. Yeah. As soon as he finished, he was stunned. When you see a familiar face. Lack of young master. Immediately, he rushed to embrace the strategy of two men. These two guys, for heaven's sake. You've become so bold like this. But three, please calm down. The soldiers saw that and whispered. It seems to be from Sichuan. In another sense, yes. I think so too. It's local. The ring is also smaller. Because the image of the master is eaten up all the time. In their eyes, there's no such thing as bravery. The soldiers continued. It seems that the children are really well off. I saw him talking to the old man. Big brother's ring. Are you hiding something behind your back? For example, the tram son. I am an orphan. Well, it's always going to be like that. At this point, the three managers also came back and said, "Come here. Tell them that the two men are back. Go now." The people immediately cut it. The boat runs straight in. Okay, everyone, go inside first. Let you stand here forever. This is not polite. Very quickly after that, they saw two people in a hurry. I can't even wear my running shoes. Along with the call of the seven. They are the parents and parents of the poor. The middle-aged mother rushed to hug and tease the unscrupulous little boy. Why are you coming back now? I'm sorry, mother. Next to his father, hands behind his back. Then turn your face the other way. He seems to be trying to hold back. Don't let the tears come out. What to say? In short, there's something in front of them. Warm to the end. Three orphans with a runaway. Standing like a screen that aesthetic. Loneliness is so unfair, really. The light is even darker. When you live two lives, but still black as a dog, that fell into the shoes of a beggar. Move the scene to dinner that day. Standing in front of a banquet table full of seasoning paint. He stared at me and laughed. You must have a lot of money. That's stupid, and we don't know. Prince, rich people like this, nobody knows anything. Not enough to sweat. I have entered. All AI brothers are the same. What's important about family circumstances? Why doesn't matter? I don't have a house, neither do I. I see the white sky is a little hesitant. He shrugged with heartbreak. It's not cool. Master was kicked out of the house. Dark and white, I'm leaving on my own. I walk out of the house myself. He ignored Bak Thien as excuse. In a radical way, and said in a trembling voice, "That's a lot of money when you paint. Failure doesn't contribute a single moment." How old are we? and we still spend our money. With all that money, it's parents' money, not mine. What's wrong with a male hybrid? Just give me a few bucks. The cat already has something to eat and wear. Something betrayed. Something deceptive. The snow added oil to the fire. Stop it, you guys find it awkward. Chen knew white sky into reconciliation. It is better not to pressure others so much. It's just that we misunderstood. Look at Zhao Keat. There's no intention of hiding anything from us. Even if it is, public opinion never goes in the right direction. 3 Thanmin people bring food to a private corner. That continue to floss. Look at the rich people talking to each other. Who's the orphan? Come on, we'll sit here. The white sky must also rise up at this time. I didn't mean that. This is so important right now. The important thing now is to find a way in. Yan'an is not like that. A moment later, they had dinner normally. I was full of food and asked, "What did your parents say?" I still dare not say anything. Why? I can't even breathe. I promised to stay in the paint. It's been a long time. If you keep that promise, it should have been last year. We have to go back and help out in the community. Why don't you go? Yes, the aesthetic masterpiece. Because your boy showed up. Or you're going to talk about what it's like to be raw. That's why now my father thinks. Come back this time, we will always stay. I must explain this misunderstanding first. No need. Why don't you stay? We can go on our way. Master, immediately answer what you said. I am a disciple of Hua-san. Even if we die, we have to go to Yunnan. The soldier shrugged. Your condition is so noble. There's no need to do that. I heard that Li Pan asked. His condition is very noble. You look at it without knowing why. Just by the scale of this place, it doesn't seem to be inferior to the meritocracy. Well then, my brother is at least on the same level. Lord Battalion of the Legion. That's about the size of a battalion. That drill. If you think like this, it's not so bad. Royal tone meaning, every time I go to paint, you have to respect the 7 parts. Just think of that image. Suddenly assess the status of Chu. Again began to plummet. I was also able to sigh and say, I'll have dinner with my family later. Then I'll ask how to get to Yunnan. Yes, Daylight nodded. I know this isn't easy, thanks to you. Even though we have a deal with the southern Manhwa, or forced to sneak into a place where there's a dead herb. If we're alerted by others. New Times and Yunnan, both of those things will be out of reach. Yes, I'll do my best. I moved the scene not long after I was asking Yunnan. Shou Ping, the master's father, spoke in a voice filled with anger. I came home after 5 years, just to ask how to get to Yunnan Sao. Do you know what kind of place Yunnan is? Dare to ask that? I know. No, but ask. It's been a year since then. From the day I promised I'd come back. But after coming back so late. You're not home. Do you know what you're talking about? Zhang was scolded, but also no. He's more worried about himself than he is angry. You think. That's why I don't want to go home. He sighed and raised his head firmly. My father has a job to do in Yunnan. That's what I have to do. It's about going back to taking over the trade union. But it's not that I was worried about or something. I forgot the traditions of our family. All members of the family. We must continue the business together. This is the rule. It's also the tradition of our family. I can't breathe. I promised the master that. This time, I will definitely complete my trip to Yunnan. Hear that the calm scolded louder. A covenant with me is not a covenant. He didn't need more words. He banged his hand on the table. Because I said, I want to challenge myself in one place. Not affected by the trade union. That's why I allowed you to join the sect. Hoa-san is losing. Because I believe you will grow up. When you have to deal with the hardship there. And you broke your covenant with me. Then Rue howled in the paint. All my attention is on the paint. The Four Seas Trade Association. Our family subject. This is where your power is needed. Sighing, I am your father. How can we be safe? Let me live somewhere else. My father bit his lip. Father, please show me how to get to Yunnan. The pitcher does not speak. When he noticed his son's unwillingness, the master is still persistent. This is something you absolutely have to do. As a male. A disciple of the painted flower. If you can't finish this, I can't do anything else either. So please, Father. Please allow, I can do it on my own again. I can hear that for a moment. Then stand up and sigh. I know what you mean. But we don't know how. To be able to travel safely to Yunnan. What are you going to do? He quietly looked at the bottle and opened his mouth. I know Yunnan Mountain's popular tea is being traded in Chengdu. Our family's trade association also sells popular tea. If there is no trade route, then this can't be done. Even if the male savage bow stopped, but we're still finding a source. In a sufficient quantity, right? When you hear that, it's a bit surprising. As far as he knows, the master just got here today. And he's just been looking for information in Chengdu. In a very short time. But he knew the tea was being sold. And think about this. He immediately sighed. Aesthetic, or indeed, it is very commercial genius that. Master continued, whether it's smuggling or licensed by the zoological community. Large or small scale, there must be a trade route with Yunnan. So Father, please let us go with you. Even if I have to do translation, I am very willing. He couldn't get his mother to move forward. Yunnan is a very dangerous place, and the reason I must hide. Change your status when you come to Yunnan. Is to do something more dangerous in that place, Sao. I thought we'd take you there. Go and pick up your body. No, absolutely not. Body Scout. I can totally understand her heart. He stood up and took his mother's hand and said softly, not the one who always tells me. If you want to lead the company, Then you have to be ready to face danger or SAO. How can you be a good trader if you dare not go to Yunnan? So please, just let me go. If you listen to those words, it is good. This boy's name. You don't want to be a businessman. At the same time, he spoke in a loud voice. You must go there. Yes, that's right. If I don't allow you, why? If so, his eyes were filled with determination. I'll wear this embroidered martial arts outfit tomorrow and go to Yunnan, even if you have to walk. Listen to those words. Temper anger. It's silent for a while. But with the determined gaze of the master, he had no other way of sighing. Thinking, this kid is a grown man. He can raise his voice. Then I will go to your Kier disciples. We have to make sure that these are people we can trust, and entrust me to them. This is my final concession. What do you think? The words of the swirling bottle. In your head. His pupils trembled. He kept his mouth shut, except for one person. He looked at his son with an incomprehensible gaze. I'm worried that the police will ruin everything. But then you came back. No, nothing. Move the scene to a moment later. I sat down with the whole group. He raised his voice. You lack the union. Think of this place as your home and relax. If it was the end of the world, the lack of, just like the people in my family. And probably, the show also talked about our problems. With everyone, right? Bok Thin sincerely stood up and said thank you. You have received 7 feasts. For coming to greet you late. You are the 2nd generation disciple of Hua-san. I hope you are generous, sympathy for the shortcomings of the lower, when suddenly came to join the Master of Spy. Without notice. Still's exclamation, when you look at the behavior of the white sky. He is a genius in the world. White figure wearing a white martial arts outfit. So strong that men can see it. Must also utter amazement. He even has dignity and dignity. Even the people next to the white sky. I can't believe that paint has so many geniuses. Now he's a little understanding. Why do you love flowers so much? However, the last of Hua-san's disciples was a bit. That's right. It's kind of weird. He carefully turned his eyes towards the Ming, but asked in his voice, missing that round. A white sky immediately beat the drum. Please don't pay attention to him. Why not let? Before he could finish his sentence, the white sky continued. It's not cool. That's what he is. He was drinking when he was interrupted. So his mood isn't focused. More. You called me here because you're going to Yunnan. Right? That's right, he sighed. I'm really very. It was a shame to be back after 5 years. But insisted on going to Yunnan. We all know that. Yunnan is a very dangerous place, and I want to make sure that we can trust you when you take your dog to that place. Oh, I understand. The sky was silent for a moment, then looked at the other side, sitting across from with anxiety, and said it wouldn't happen. Huh. His words immediately made both of them wonder. No parent wants to give their child. Go to a dangerous place. He closed his eyes and looked straight. They continued with determination. I will not take you to Yenin. I hear that. His face immediately stiffened in surprise. I hear the sky will not let you go with me. Master stood up and said, I won't let you go to Yenin. Without you. Even if you break your leg, you'll leave. Please don't leave me. Calmly sit down. But I told you to sit down. Bite your lips and slowly sit down. You go on. The headmaster told me to go. Yenin and finish this. So the master can't stop you. White Sky heard that and asked, You really think so? Yes, if the chief knows this. Do you think he'll let you go to Yenin again? Master came here and hesitated. In a resolute voice, the White Sky continued. Education is important, but education is also important. Is there any religion that teaches you to disobey your parents? The urge, but. And at the same time, it's clear. These are the dark religions. To do it yourself is the way. White Sky is angry to hear that. Turn to look at the light. Hey, sit still. Min continued. I urge you to leave your brother. Then our way to Yenin. Is it easier? Then we can suffer a little more. This Than Min. This is something related to Zhu as family. He replied in a serious voice. This is also the master's job. So the master is not the one who decides. Between family and master. Somewhere more important than here. Who decided it was a trick? Brother there. Min continued. Even if you are a man of position, the highest for brother, even the Lord cannot force him. Because it depends on his heart. That's his feeling. That sentence makes the White Sky feel dizzy. Teacher pushes hard throat. Than Min turned to look at the masterpiece. What do you want? I am surprised at this moment. We can decide for ourselves. That's right, of course. But if you want to go to Yenin, we need the help of the family. Oh my God, Min interrupted the teaser. Reach for the flaming wine jar. Why do you have to worry about that? I'm Kier. He said he was holding his hands to reveal his muscles. I'm not going to break the heads of those orcs. So don't worry anymore. Just do what you want. I can't stop talking in a moment. Suddenly, you smile and sigh. I don't understand why. Just look at that form of him. I feel comfortable again. I was about to speak at the right time. Cup, cup. 3 butlers who opened the door appeared with a bad face. The owner has a guest. Outside the big gate. Now there are some bodies waiting. They seem to be here. It's not a good purpose. The 4 C's have a place here. Maybe it's like heaven. Knocking on the door of a trade fair at night is extremely disrespectful. There are only two types of people in this city who are disrespectful. One is those who come, even if you know that there are 7. There are too many urgent transactions. The rest are people. I didn't even think about it. Having a ceremony with the trade fair. Type 1 guys can be any AI. Like the Type 2 guys. There's only one in Sichuan. As soon as the bottle goes outside, you immediately recognize the blue uniform of those 3 guys. He's the one who raised his hand. You are not the way of lack or Sao. The leader also replied, "It is a pleasure to host the 4 Seas Association." The leader is the path. He is the 5th son of the Sichuan family. Face of the dark calm. He thought silently, looks like he's here. And bring nothing good. He carefully stowed it along. It is an honor for me to be able to show you. Brother of sugar. But to be honest, I'm very worried, for fear of not being able to welcome the thoughtful. When you come without a word like this, listen, don't just smile back. We had to be disrespectful like this. It's just that kindness wins in the heart. Can't settle down. I hope the owners don't blame us. You just talked about winning. That's right. I heard that the 2 sons of the patriarch have returned. After a practice in a distant place. The bottle bit the lips of the impiety of the overflowing road. The news has arrived at Tai Ra Road. He answered in an annoyed voice. That's right. My poor dog has just returned home. Master of the 4 Seas. He is also a talented man. We want to recruit. So when the guild sends the guy somewhere else, our owner felt very hurt. I was shocked when I heard 2 words from the owner. It's not okay. That means they came here. It's not just a personal thing. It's the whole way out. Even line continues to say. True masterpiece. The boy refused to join the martial arts school. To join Hoa paint. So we just want to see. Finally, what did you learn from that distant place? Don't worry, you need to know this to be less painful. To calm down sweat. I knew this would come. But I can't believe it's so fast. According to the unwritten law of the road, they are determined to capture most of the sons of the powers in the city. Must join the Tang family to learn martial arts. Of course, they don't teach you the core techniques of poisoning or haunting. Because only the blood of the sugar family. To learn their secrets. Even the sugar women AI. You're not allowed to learn this kind of trick. Male Road Ra. I've just been allowed to learn core emasculation techniques. Through those absurd actions. Way out that all the sons of the powers in the city. I can't concentrate on mainstream martial arts. From there, these people have to rely on sugar. It makes you feel like you're part of the family. This process has been repeated for over 100 years. Take the way out, complete control of the city. Master rejection. I joined because I didn't want to be a puppet of the sugar family. The board supported that decision. After pondering, he chose paint. A weakened sect. It can't be a threat to sugar. Moreover, Hoa paint used to have a reputation, and just put in the effort. Exhaustion can improve the ability. Most importantly, it's far from Sichuan. Suo Pingtung. As you know, the dog has entered the mountain. Hoa Sun is a decadent sect, both nominally and practically. I sent my dog there just because he liked it. Don't laugh. We know. But the saying that paint fades is somewhat incorrect. Currently, Hoa Sun's reputation is shaking the 4 seas. Cool surprise. What is SAO? What else? The owner is a traitor. Why are you so slow to get the news? Now, Hoa Sun's reputation has echoed throughout Chung Myung, in which the disciples of the 3rd generation tone rings and disciples' life to white sky. Snow is a name that no one knows. Her eyes softly fluttered aesthetically. The names he mentioned. It's exactly the same with people. Came here with the dog. If so, that seems to be true. One of the 5 best painters. My child's masterpiece. She was a little excited and proud. When you know that. Especially right now. The eyes of the street glowed with interest, mixed with vigilance. He continued. I have heard that you are called the first of the world. After Kai too, the dragon god also came to this place. Although, I can't compare with someone with that reputation. But we may not visit. When in the city can a first world appear after the beginning of 2-2? I was surprised to hear that thought. The dragon god is a great name. If you remember that bold look, there is someone who fits that name. Be careful to ask. You guys are talking about the White House, right? Don't laugh. Ha ha ha, the owner of the trade association is going to stay like this forever. Don't know is that he's only around Yunnan and Sichuan. There is no information on the lake. Or the owner of the company is deliberately deceiving me. I can see that I really don't know. Don't keep talking. Okay? It doesn't matter what it is right now. We want to meet the students of Hoa Sun. Came to this city. As a man of the road. I don't know if you can call them out. Of course, that includes the son of the owner. I heard that, and his eyes turned to the back. He thought silently. What to do? In Sichuan, especially Chengdu. Once you set foot in this place, you can't ignore the demands of Raz. But the leaders of the painting, now. He was a senior at Chu's master. And a regular visitor. The bringing of precious guests, in front of the road, who are listening to the fangs grinding. It's not something that should be done at all. They can respect the company, without touching the consumable, like the others. I don't know what it's going to be. Carefully raise your voice. I understand what the missing person wants, but it's too late today. And the guests of the trade fair have all gone to bed. I don't know tomorrow. Can you come back without a round? Haha, nothing is sleeping. Hoa Sun students seem to be too lazy. Well, they've come a long way to get here. Should be. The road suddenly lowered its voice, interrupting the comment. This is Sugar's business. Trade association owner, you're obstructing the story of Sugar. The face of regeneration, he replied. How dare we go there? You can only hold your anger now. Hands trembling tight. Don't laugh too hard. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to threaten the company. And Hoa-san disciples really have no self-respect. You clearly heard what I said. But deliberately hiding behind. 4C trade associations like this SAO. At that moment, the noise came from behind. To get people's attention. Hey, look, this is Sichuan. This boy's name. The chief of staff told me not to cause trouble. That? Grab that boy quickly and thunder. Along with a powerful sound, the door behind the tank was knocked out. He and his group of followers. Not in time to react. The door fell right next to Glade Road. He blinked and raised his head to look. In front of him was a young boy. My mouth is still drinking. Don't raise your voice. Who are you? The young man replied in a drunken voice. Who am I to break in at night? And then overbearing, make so much noise. Do you want to die or something? Don't pay. After being suddenly appeared by Than Min and swearing torrential. Not out of aesthetic surprise. This guy is crazy. Wait, it turns out he's from the mountain. At the same time, the dog continues to curse. What about kids these days? What you owe me, I don't know. Who are you? The soldier's lips softened. Before asking someone else's name, you have to introduce yourself first. The basis of communication without knowing it? Or you guys didn't learn that? To see such a scene, the throwers can't help but distort their faces. Hurry up and keep the light. At the same time they say, oh my God, this kid is too much. I'm really sorry. Apologize to Bak Thin and pull the Ming to the back. Come on in, come on in. Listen, don't be surprised. That's why you are the dragon god. I was surprised to hear that. The dragon god is that person. Dawn is being dragged inside, reacting to the words of the road. Get out. Look at that guy calling me. No, there's no one to call you. You misheard me and come in. You said you just called me. Shaking the hands of the brothers, he pulled out and waved his hands forward. What do you call me? Don't feel that way, you're out of words. But he quickly got serious and said, we have already had 7 ceremonies. Let me introduce myself as the Wei. It's from Sichuan. When he heard that, he opened his mouth and mocked. What is the logic of the Way of Sichuan? The ones we know are the educated ones. It's a decent ceremony.